Hey guys, this is Dan.
And this is Billy.
This is Wayne.
And thanks for tuning into the Faulty Logics podcast. America! Fuck yeah! So, in case any of you guys have been living under a rock, Donald Trump won the US election over Hillary Clinton.
So fucked up.
What were your initial thoughts when you actually heard the news?
Well, I was half asleep. I thought I was dreaming. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I left my cousin's house. I saw it was a close race.
What time was that?
8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Hillary was winning.
That was pretty early.
Hillary was winning. I was like, damn, shit's close. Trump might win. I'm like, nah, fucking no way.
Yeah.
At 3 in the morning, I wake up halfway. I'm like, I look out at my phone, because Google apparently has this.
Yeah,
that's
that's basically what I was on. I was watching that, and it was just going like back and forth. And
yeah, I think it was at the point where it's like 173 for Trump, 120 for Hillary. I'm like, I must be dreaming.
Yeah.
So I went back to sleep.
Once it got to around like the 200 areas, that's when like Donald Trump's like started really pulling away.
Yeah, that was around
like,
I think 11:30, 12 when he pulled away. It was like 190 something to like 200 something for Trump, and then it just went crazy.
But you know what's fucked up? It's like the aftermath, like the day after. It seemed like everyone on the internet was like enraged. And who the fuck voted? If everyone's enraged, who was voting for Trump then?
I don't understand too, but I don't know. Maybe because we're so democratic here in Toronto that it's hard to see. But like, what the fuck happened? Like,
yeah. Well, even in the States, like all the highly dense populated cities, they're the ones that were like the more democratic sides, right? So that's why they have the electoral college rather than the popular votes. Mm-hmm. And people are kind of pissed off about that because they're saying that it doesn't really represent the people when you have the election kind of set up this way.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, the popular vote is basically what it sounds like. Whoever gets the most votes would win. And the electoral college, it's based on districts, and they divide the states and everything into different districts, and based on that, so whatever districts win goes into which state wins.
It's like
right?
the Hunger Games. Imagine if they had to do that. There's like the Hunger Games, and then they split up the districts, and then you have to fight for like more electoral votes power. So California has been winning the Hunger Games.
Yeah, but then the way that the districts are set up, they're almost rigged because in areas where they know that there's gonna be a lot of Democratic votes or whatever, they'll like bunch them all together and put a little bit of the Republicans there, so like they're gonna lose a little bit. But then they'll like create other districts there where they'll have just enough Republican votes to beat those Democrats, and then because of that.
Yeah, it's like
that's what they're saying.
It's basically a humongous game of chess. Like them trying to like put enough resources at this one location and then walk away from it. They don't need all of it. They just need this district, and that's it.
I heard with these districts, normally in each district they'll actually vote the same year after year.
Yeah, like California is always blue.
Yeah,
New York's always blue.
And then there'll be those few
red
states that are always
on the
borderline. So those are
like
the
Florida.
ones the candidates would actually attack and try to get their votes, right?
Florida, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole thing was like the South Park episode.
Yeah, it seemed like a joke at the very beginning.
Yeah, like,
everyone's like, haha, it's never gonna happen. What a silly person.
Douchebag against a turd sandwich. That's pretty much what it was.
Oh my god.
And I think that played into like Donald Trump's favor too, because everyone was considering it as a joke until he finally gets elected and is like, oh shit, where did we fuck up?
I don't know how true it was. I keep hearing people talk about Trump's expression right after. It's like he had the expression where, fuck, I actually won. And now I gotta actually be a president. What the fuck just happened?
It is very weird. Like, I remember the next day when I went to work, I was like, man, I can't believe this happened. Like, I cared more about the US election than I did about any Canadian election. I was like, wow, this is real life kind of a thing.
And it's reasonable because like they're supposed to be one of the most powerful countries in the world, and their economy affects the entire globe's economy, right? Apparently, as the election was going on, the stock markets everywhere were like just shitting bricks.
Yeah.
Everything was going red, and gold was going up because everyone's like, okay, well, if it's going to be a post-apocalyptic world, I'll have some gold to trade in for value, right?
Yeah.
So
at least it stabilized after. Like, if it kept dropping and dropping, that would have been so bad for everyone else.
So here's another thing too. Voting is so friggin' important, and everybody always says like, go vote, go vote, go vote. But how many people actually do vote? Did you guys vote for the Canadian election?
I do vote.
I didn't vote.
You son of a bitch.
I didn't vote.
I don't have anything against people not voting, to be honest. Because, like, if Billy had no opinion or had no idea of who's running whatever, what if Hitler was running and Billy's like, I like this guy's name.
Yeah, I like his mustache.
Yeah.
It's
like
a good mustache.
And people are going to be like, fuck, Hitler won.
Oh god,
Oh.
that's basically
See,
what happened with Trump.
Shit like that, yeah. I swear to God, people was like, "Oh shit, this guy was on TV. He must be amazing." Because Arnold Schwarzenegger did a great job, right? So why wouldn't a friggin' billionaire, work on the whole country?
He's that orange Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, basically, from what reports are saying, I don't know if these stats are accurate or I didn't verify the source or anything, but 75 million registered voters didn't even vote at all. So, like, why the hell did you
What's
waste
the
your
population
time?
of the states? 300? Is that what it is?
300 million or
Is
something?
that little?
I think the state of California already has the same population as our country.
Oh yeah,
So they are 320 million.
that's it.
That's a lot, but so 75 million is actually a humongous portion of it. Because you gotta imagine, like, the adult population,
Yeah.
too, right? 320 million, probably, like,
So,
a quarter of them are
Under
kids.
20%, roughly.
They registered to vote and they didn't take advantage of
Well,
it.
so that's just a registered.
Yeah,
Not like-
registering is kind of like harassment,
Yeah.
Like, we all get harassed to register to vote. I was registered to vote, too, because they kept sending mail at my house and stuff.
Wait, you don't have to actually register to vote here, do you? You just automatically get the letter.
Well, I guess that you register for the party or something, the harassment that they send you, and they're like, these are the steps to vote.
I think it's different in the States because for us, like, you don't really have to sign up with that party. Like, when we go to the polling station,
Yeah.
you sign up there and everything like that, and then that would be, I would consider that as registered
This
to
is why I
vote.
never
And then you would
voted.
vote right away.
You don't even have to sign up. I think you're actually just register a certain area. So you only have one place you can vote at. I only voted because it was right at my bus stop.
Yeah, see, okay, so this is the problem with voting, too, is that it's too fucking inconvenient. Like,
No, it's pretty convenient.
why can't there be a mobile app, turn on everything, everyone's like, click this button now, and everyone presses the two buttons.
Because it could be rigged,
Well, like, paper could be rigged, too.
Trump
you know what I mean?
prophesied.
If he lost, he would have said it was rigged.
Yeah, he would. Because
Yeah.
he said it. He actually said at the debate,
Yeah.
he said if he lost, he would not honor the result because he'll believe it's rigged because he
Yeah.
has to win because he's
He also kind of, like, said that he would be a big jerk about his win, but he was actually, like, pretty composed in his acceptance speech.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he wasn't, like, an asshole. He didn't go, like, haha, suckers, no, I'm the president. Fuck you all. He was actually, like, a composed person. He didn't say any crazy racist, sexist stuff,
So among the people who did vote, 5.5 million people voted for a third party, so they didn't vote Republican or Democratic. And then there's a lot of tweets out there and like memes out there saying that 15,000 people voted for Harambe, which is a dead gorilla for those of you who don't know. I don't know if that's true either. Apparently there's articles out there debunking it.
I don't know. Can you vote for Harambe? Like,
Wait,
is it on the
this-
ballot? Do you write a row?
Yeah, you
that
can
says
write
name?
who you want to.
Wow,
we
that's
need to
crazy.
clarify first. Harambe is literally a dead gorilla. We're not just calling someone a dead gorilla. He literally is a dead gorilla. Just to clarify. Go on.
I can't believe how strong that Harambe meme is, though. Like, it's crazy.
That just shows you the IQ of the.
Oh, hold on. So there's a game called Overwatch, and in Overwatch, there's a character who's a monkey.
Yeah, Winston.
Yeah, everyone calls him Harambe.
There's a petition to get his name changed to
Because,
Harambe.
like, when he jumps at you, they're like, everyone's like, oh, Harambe's jumping, he's coming at us. You're like, what the fuck?
So not only did these idiots waste their time to register to vote, they also went to the polling stations, lined up, and then they voted for a fucking dead monkey.
Yeah, those people voted for the monkey. Well, I guess they do have the right to vote for whoever they want, but come on, people.
Like, those votes could have went and swayed a district easily. Like,
It
some
could have
district-
saved the United States of
yeah,
America.
some districts were only like a few hundred off.
I can't believe this election was so fucked up, though. Like, I think if I was in the States too, I would have probably voted for an independent one as well. Because I don't like Hillary and I don't like Trump.
I kind of want to bring up the way that we voted in Canada. Our election was between Stephen Harper and basically Justin Trudeau.
Man, I can't believe
Now-
what a landslide that was. Holy shit.
But here's the thing. That's why we had the NDP party that was really strong.
Mhm.
And a lot of people liked it. But a lot of people did not believe that they would be able to vote for that party and have them win. So there's a strategic voting that came into place where everyone was like, okay, well, why don't we get rid of Harper first? We'll vote Liberal now, make it a Liberal government, and then from there, the next election, we can choose among the Liberal parties and we can vote NDP. So that's the strategy that people have for the next election already. Voting Trudeau in was just a process.
Is that the NDP strategy or is that the Liberal strategy? Like,
That
what
is the
strategy?
public strategy.
I don't know if the public can all surround themselves around that because the public couldn't even like all gather to say no Trump. It's pretty hard.
But that's a lower intelligence American
I don't know, man.
population. Sorry, guys,
I
if we're
think-
offending you.
I think people are just people. It's really hard to rally that much people to
Mhm.
say this is the unified goal that we're all going to do. As soon as any kind of panic happens, everyone's like going to
Yeah.
scatter.
Well, there was public websites and everything about this. People were sharing this strategy and it's like, hey, let's do this because we can make it better in the future.
Mhm.
Like it's way better to use our votes on Trudeau, get him into office, than waste our votes on NDP right now and get stuck with a Harper in office, right?
Yeah.
So that was a strategy that a lot of NDP voters used. I kind of went with that as well too. I wanted to vote NDP, but I voted Liberal instead. That brings us to the questions like, does every vote count? We talked about just now, if you don't have somebody that you really believe for when you're voting, you might not vote at all, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, do you think every vote does matter? Like, there's these votes that people are throwing away on Harambe, people registering and not voting at all, and like
I don't
people
think
using
it's
votes
the
strategically.
act of voting that counts. I think it's the discussion of voting that counts. So if you are one person who votes for like Hillary, right?
Yeah.
You influence like, let's say, a couple of people around you to maybe vote for her, and then those people influence a couple of people around them, right? Because the act of voting causes you to talk about it. So I think that's what's more important, and maybe like not discussed enough.
100% agree, and I'm gonna flip that too, because the act of not voting, people saying like, "Oh, my vote doesn't matter. One vote doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Everyone says that, and when you have all these people saying that exact same thing, you add that up, and those votes do matter.
That makes sense. Like, if you do have an opinion, do go out to the voting polls and put it on paper. But if you have no idea what you're doing,
If they made it like a freaking crazy fest, like the ones in the States right now, I would have voted too. Like, because that is just like, I would have been like, wow, this is.
He's like,
this
just
is,
in case.
this
I'm gonna go vote against this guy.
This is crazy. Like, so yeah, I would have definitely voted. But the Canadian one I like how calm it is, and there's no crazy drama. Like, if there is a good side of that's how grown men and women should act, right? But it doesn't lack that flair as the States one had.
So we were talking about how right after the election, everyone was blowing up on Facebook and everything. Yeah. Everybody's just like, "Oh my God, Trump! I can't believe he's elected the president." And I asked the questions like, "Where the hell are all the supporters of Trump? Right? Why weren't they posting anything?" Well, apparently, it seems like they're out busy doing a lot of racist stuff.
What?
Have you guys heard about these things?
No.
Okay, so apparently there's a lot of pictures surfacing. Like, even just the next morning, people are spray painting on the walls and everything. It literally just says "fuck niggers," "white America,"
wow,
Trump for president, all that stuff, hashtag, all that stuff, right? And I'm gonna say those words because that's exactly what they wrote.
Yeah.
There's also like I think one of the universities, there was a baby doll, a black baby doll in the elevator hanging by a noose.
What the fuck?
Right?
Wow,
so
that is fucking scary.
There's a lot of crazy shit that's going on in the States right now, and this is exactly what I said would happen if Trump got elected. When Obama got elected, the people of color, they started having more power, they started speaking out more, they started speaking out on their problems more, right? But there's a lot of these hate crime issues and like Black Lives Matter issues rising up. They felt more empowered. As soon as Trump started running for president, even he wasn't even president yet, he already started getting all this support from all these white supremacists. And once he gets in power, these guys are gonna go crazy and like.
Well, he was endorsed by KKK.
Exactly. So
he's not really white; he's more orange, right? So
yeah.
like, I don't know if they can really say that about him.
It's crazy, man. Like, this is what you think about when you hear a slogan like "Make America Great Again." This is your great America. It's
like,
pretty whack.
He's
make great America the master race. That's pretty much what it's come down to.
He's very good at that kind of random generic talk, because that's just like called business talk, right? Where they just say a lot of like keywords and like buzzwords and just like ISIS. Like how he answered most of the questions when they were debating and stuff is like, well, that's not going to take care of ISIS, will it?
Wrong.
Yeah, like come on, let's get to the issue, which is like, it's like back then when Bush was doing the 9/11 thing, right? Where he was like saying like, oh well, this wouldn't have prevented 9/11, right? Like like let's get back to this. Every time there's a question he can't answer, that's what the safety word is, right? And everyone's like, that's true.
It's funny that you bring up 9/11 too, because I read a meme today. It's like the two worst days in American history.
I keep seeing that.
9/11 or the
there's
other
there's also the other one, which is this isn't what we meant by orange is the new black, right? That was pretty funny too.
And I also saw a post. It was this is the first time since 1929 or something, since there was a Republican president's House and Senate or whatever. And then that was the year of the Great Depression.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh man,
this is a disaster, man.
My dream and my goal is that this will influence the technology companies to come to Canada. Like that's my dream.
Speaking of that, do you guys hear about? I guess it was either towards the end of the election, Immigration Canada's website crashed.
Yeah,
I saw that. That was pretty funny.
And a lot of people are looking at immigrating to New Zealand as well.
Oh, New Zealand's pretty good. I would totally immigrate to New Zealand too. It's really warm there. The people are really nice.
I don't know. I read a meme saying that it was quoting Trump, I don't know if it's true. If it is, fucked up because you know how there's a border in he wants to build a border in the south.
Yeah,
like,
the wall
for Mexico.
Yeah, the
He's
wall.
like, don't forget, wall. He also said something like the meme said. He also said, "I'm gonna build. I didn't forget you can't use no Mexicans." I'm sure.
Honestly, I want him to build the wall. That would be so awesome if they spend all their resources on a fucking wall, and then what people do is they walk around the wall.
No,
That's hilarious.
It just blows my mind that whole time. He kept saying, "We're gonna build a wall, and Mexico's gonna pay for it." He even went as far to go talk to the Mexican president, saying,
Oh man,
"You're gonna build a wall, and
you know
you're gonna
what
pay
though?
for
Like,
it."
okay, like let's look at it from like a objective point of view that he's a smart guy and that he planned these things on purpose. He let all of these things leak, like that the sexual harassment stuff, right? He did it purposely to get in the media to cause like some alarm, and like once he did it once and he got bigger, he's like, oh, why not just keep doing this? And then did it again, it got bigger, more media covered it. Well, like just keep doing it then, right?
It's an interesting point you bring up because he's a Democrat.
Yeah, he's originally a Democrat.
He's a Democrat. He pretty much just turned Republican like a year and a half ago. And he had an interview 4 years ago where he said, like, if I was ever going to run, I'm going to run as a Republican because those guys are idiots and they'll believe
Yeah, I
anything
saw
I
that.
say. And that's exactly what happened. Like, I'm really hoping that Trump is the greatest troll we've ever met, we've ever seen in, like, media history. And he's going to be like, joke's on you guys, I'm a liberal, and, like, we're going to make this country great again for real.
Oh, man. Yeah, so there's the, all of the late night people covering this.
Yeah.
Like, they're all saying, like, you know what, let's get focused here, people. This is over. We gotta focus on, like, not hating each other because there's a lot of hate. And I feel like, you know that comic with, what's that guy, Mr. Manhattan? He basically made himself a martyr and made everyone, like, he became, like, a villain so that everyone
can unify.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe this is what Trump's doing, is he's making himself a villain so that everyone can hate him. And then all of these people now are saying, you know what, we can't hate each other. We have to keep peace and, like, you know.
This is genius.
Yeah, and he is, like, literally the smartest guy ever to do all this, to go Republican, to create all this hate, then to create himself into a martyr so that everyone can actually be better. That'd be fucking amazing.
Could you imagine that?
No, Trump, no.
I saw some funny memes too, where it's showing Barack Obama's face, and it's like A New Hope, and it shows Donald Trump's, and it's like The Empire Strikes Back, and then it showed Bernie Sanders, like the Jedi Returns for each year, 2012, 2016, and 2020.
And then, a lot of the memes with Steve Harvey came back up. It's like, and the president.
Oh, yeah.
My
Steve Harvey's like, oh, my mistake.
So we were talking about the wall and everything like that, and talking about how, like, what if he is a troll? What if he in the end is a liberal? And, like, from day one already, he's already backpedaling on a lot of stuff that he's said he was gonna do.
He's like, gonna build a wall?
The number one thing that he said he was gonna do was he was gonna promise to build a wall.
He's also said he's gonna put Hillary in prison too if
Right.
he ever wins.
Yeah, because everyone kept trying to lock her up. Yeah, what's the deal with that? Because I don't pay attention to this. Do you guys know?
It's just the email thing.
Yeah, because the leaked emails and stuff. But basically, the wall situation, he's met up with, like, some companies that were supposed to build the wall and his advisor and everything, and saying, like, hey, this wall is, like, going to be extremely expensive to build if you do a brick and mortar wall.
Chinese people, man.
Let's look into building, like, a double-layered fence system or something with more patrol.
Oh
So
my God, what
he's
a
already
fucking-
backpedaling on that. He's backpedaling on so Hillary was gonna hire this guy. I forget what bank he's from, but Donald Trump called him the worst banker in the world. All of a sudden, now he's hiring him as a secretary or a treasurer. So he's hiring the same person Hillary wanted as a treasurer to be his treasurer now.
Yeah.
He talked about eliminating Obamacare. And the very first meeting that Obama and Trump had, I believe they did discuss deeply about Obamacare. And I think Obama's pretty much begging him, like, hey, don't get rid of Obamacare. And I think he didn't say he was going to get rid of it, but he's saying that he was going to...
He's gonna call it Trump Care. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna, okay, I won't get rid of it. I'm just gonna
So-
change the name.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be adjustments.
Yeah, called Trump Care.
Trump's already kicked a black family out of their house. He's gonna do whatever he wants.
Trump Care. Oh man.
Hey, but for real talk though, what if because we had a similar situation with our mayor, when we had
Rob Ford.
Ford.
Yeah.
What if Trump is similar to Rob Ford? Like in his mind, at least he's doing like the best for the country. Like he's doing like everything perfect,
Right.
everything for the people, but just doing it in the worst way possible. Like say with Rob Ford when we had like he wants to cut a lot of costs, which is okay,
Mhm.
but he's cutting in all the worst places possible, like cutting out libraries, I think including education, all that stuff. So people
Who-
start hitting him even more.
Who still goes to libraries, really?
I do.
What?
I-
Bullshit.
I try to go to libraries, but every time I look at them, I get so like bored. I just walk by. Like, no, I'm not going. If all libraries had coffee in them, I would go to libraries. But libraries
You
don't.
can't have coffee in the library because everyone's going to be spilling coffee in books, and you can't read the books.
That's
after.
not. That's not what happens at chapters. They keep orders out. They have a Starbucks at every chapters. If they, because you fall asleep when you're looking at a book, you fall asleep. So you need coffee.
This is a good business plan.
Yeah, it's just looking great. I should like go to every single public library and be like, I will open a coffee shop here.
Nick Cafe. Boom. So, one thing that he's not going back on is he promised that he was not going to take any of the presidential salary. And it's like, it's $400,000. And he's like, honestly, I don't give a shit about that $400,000. It's nothing to me. And I'm going to keep my word on that. I'm not taking a single cent. So that's kind of cool, at least.
He's going to take it.
But anyways, in regards to like the election and everything like that, do you have any suggestions on how we could possibly, or ideas of ways that we could possibly improve an election process? Like, well, obviously we're not experts and stuff like that, but from witnessing this disaster of an election,
I've thought about this actually a bit, not just like in terms of the states in general, but I think just in terms of like how to get people to vote. And I realistically think that the voting process is too fucking annoying. It needs to be so easy to do.
it is easy.
What do you mean, like
No,
walking in to cast a ballot?
exactly. It's
That's
too,
so hard.
It's too fucking much work.
You walk in, you
What?
you do a
Okay,
check.
let me
It's
ask you
just a
this.
check.
Okay,
No,
let me-
now it's a button.
let me ask you
press
this.
a button.
Would you rather mail a physical mail or send an email?
No,
Just because something
NSA, bro.
I know, but just because something exists as the way it is now.
But if you're sending an email, it's no longer anonymous.
No, I'm saying like that's the process of how things
You want it to
evolve.
be a Facebook poll or something?
No, I want it to be an encrypted end-to-end way of voting.
You have to talk to Edward Snowden if that's possible.
It is possible. It's very easy to do.
No, because NSA is gonna be like, "Oh, Billy voted for
Well,
Harambe."
Regardless, they know who you vote for, right? So the
No, they don't.
It's anonymous.
No, I mean like the thing, like it's somewhere, right?
No, that's why you go in where there's like protective curtain so no one can see, and that's why they can't let you take selfies like Donald Trump's son. And I hope he goes to jail for that because he's
Well, yeah.
supposed
Well,
to.
okay. Well, regardless, it's very easy to do that, right? To create something where it's completely anonymous, completely randomized, and just send it off to somewhere, right?
Yes.
So the only thing they know is maybe the location where it came from, but they know the location where it came from anyways, right? Unless they take all the things and mix it into a bundle for some random reason and ship it off, right? But they know the district you're in, right? So
Well, they would have to.
because if you had to send a physical mail every time you wanted to send an email, no one would send any kind of communication to each other anymore, right? Like imagine doing that now. It's ridiculous, right? The idea of that is ridiculous.
But it's like literally one thing that you have to do every few years.
Walk in and press a button.
Any
It's actually
kind of-
more work turning on your computer
No,
and running an email.
I think you have to change the way you think about it because it's like online shopping, emails, any kind of electronic things. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that at the
But
beginning?"
then when you do online shopping and you realize, shit, this doesn't fit, it's more work to return it, isn't it? Instead of going in to try it on.
Well, I think that's your own fault because maybe you need to find out what fits
No,
you first.
it's because all these like retailers have different sizing. It's their fault.
I think it's just you're angry about that.
Anyways, off topic, but one of the suggestions that I would like to bring up, well, we kind of have it in Canada already. One of the things is getting money out of politics.
Oh, impossible.
In the U.S., it's pretty much illegal for corporations to bribe politicians.
Mhm.
Like we don't have that in this in Canada.
I'm sure we have that. It's
I
just
think they
not
limit,
as public.
it's limit as how much they can actually spend.
Yeah, but
Because I think Rob
there's-
Ford got in trouble with that.
there's a difference between
It's
giving
illegal.
someone money
Yeah.
and
Well, people are getting penalized
going in this
for it.
direction. And oh, look, there happens to be a restaurant, and oh,
Yeah.
look, it's free today. There's a humongous difference there. Like they can do that.
In Canada, people have done it and they have gotten penalized for it. Like the last election, a huge chunk of the Conservative Party got caught for all these kind of like illegal bribes and everything like that. So in Canada, it does exist, but we have rules against it.
Mhm.
Whereas in the States, there's really no control or regulation in regards to that. And I think that's something that needs to be done.
Yeah,
Um,
the lobbying is pretty insane there because the food industry is controlled by someone. The alcohol, the cigarettes, it's all controlled by people. It's insane how much power they have.
Bernie Sanders, man, you gotta get Bernie Sanders in. I want to throw in a quick plug too. Randomly, I follow the Young Turks,
They're pretty
and
good.
they do have this movement, Wolfpack, wolf-pack.com. Check that out, and then they're trying to fight really hard to get money out of politics, and they have a lot of politicians already trying to support it. So check that out if you really, really are passionate about something like that. I had another idea and a way to improve the election system as well too. A lot of people probably won't like this idea. I like it a lot because I vote. But it would be setting fines for people that don't vote. Similar to in the way that if you don't do your taxes, you get fined. If you don't fill out your consensus, you get fined. So why not fine people that don't vote? Because as someone who is part of a society, it's technically your responsibility to be a contributing member of society. And if you're not voting, you're not a contributing member. So you should be penalized for that somehow.
I don't like how the census thing does it, but I understand what you're trying to say. But I feel like it's just fucking too hard. Like, 'cause that fucking census, some people have like the long census, right? Oh my god, it's terrible. Like, I had the short one where it took me like 5 minutes.
One too.
Some people had like the 30-minute, 1 hour one. That's fucking
I
terrible.
don't think you actually get fined though, because I've known people that hasn't filled it out. You're supposed
to get fined.
You're
I think
supposed to
it's
get fined.
$500 or something.
And I think there's like potential for jail time too. $10,000 fine if you don't vote. And all that money can go back into the government, which will help the people. This asshole that didn't vote
unless the government
can contribute to society in that way.
There's a lot of like idealistic thinking there, is that money going back to government actually is used in a useful and meaningful way, right?
I would hope so. That's idealistic.
I find that very unrealistic to think that way. I find that people are very inefficient, and they will, find
somewhere to put that money.
Yeah, they will find some ways of doing bad things, no matter what happens. It's just you have to decrease the chances of them doing that.
So one thing that came up too was we talked about Donald Trump wanting to put Hillary in jail. There was also people talking about Donald Trump's son going to jail for taking a selfie with his vote.
He looks like such a douche, though. You see his face?
I've seen his face. It makes me angry.
Yeah, right? Like, fuck, I want to step on it.
Do you think he deserves to go to jail for something as simple as that?
He deserves to go to jail for his face. For real. But yeah, go to jail for that. Just, why not?
Make an example out of him.
Yeah.
What's the big deal of taking a picture with your vote, though? Like a selfie?
I think it's more of a confidentiality thing.
But if you don't care what people know about your vote, then that's your vote.
Yeah,
who gives a shit?
It's kind of like freedom of speech,
it's like,
right?
Yeah, when people just say, like, hey, I voted for Justin Trudeau.
No, but the thing is,
that's one thing you can say it, and another thing to prove that you did it.
No, but the thing is, the ballot is actually a confirmation of who you're voting. When you go out, you can actually say whatever you want.
It's like a game of mafia, man.
For all you
lie your ass
off.
You
go, you're voting for Hitler, and coming out, you're voting for Santa. It's telling people you voted for Santa Claus or something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, because Justin Timberlake did something like that too a week ago, and he kind of got in trouble for it.
For taking a picture?
Yeah, because it was a new law in that state, but I don't think anything happened from it. Donald Trump's son, though, he should get go to jail and be someone's bitch.
I think everyone should get a warning, maybe, like don't do that again. And that's
really,
fine. Yeah.
It's like if one person done it. Anyone else should already know because it's going to be all over the news, especially if it's Donald Trump's son. No one should be doing it now.
Well, regardless, a warning and then fine maybe afterwards. But if they do it a second time, because if they do it a second time after they've been warned, it's pretty fucking dumb.
Well, after all this shit that has gone down since the election, do you think there's any possibility that anything good can come out of President-elect Donald Trump?
High quality walls?
I don't know.
It's just a fence.
Have you seen his hotels? Some of them are not doing so good.
I heard he's taking the name off them.
So I went to one and I saw the one in Honolulu. It looked pretty shitty. And then talking to the locals around of what they think about like that hotel itself, and they were like, "This is a terrible hotel. Don't ever stay here." So I don't know how well this hotel they're doing, which is probably why he wants to take his names off them.
This whole fiasco's been ruining 9gag for me. Everything's been about the election after election after election.
That's like when Harambe died. It was like all about Harambe.
When did that happen? I don't remember it. Was this recent?
It was about half a year ago.
Poor Harambe.
But yeah, basically, the election happened. It's over with. We have to kind of deal with it for the next 4 years. Whatever the situation, like, it's no point in, like, dwelling on the past. And if you guys are really passionate about this, you guys should put your energy towards trying to make a difference now and for a better tomorrow. Personally, I like a lot of this politics stuff, so maybe you'll start hearing more of this stuff from me in the future. And if that is stuff that you like to hear about, go down below. Actually, it's in the videos now. You can actually click the right of this video and subscribe to us.
I think might be below.
Or if you just think Trump shot Harambe, you can subscribe to it for us as well.
Yeah.
And there's 2 videos over here. You can just click them and watch them if you haven't seen our past ones.
Alright, later.
Peace.